Let's take a quick look at the geo import node as well as the projection workflow. So I'm going to create a geo import node, and from here I'll point at the USD scene. I'll be presented with a hierarchy with everything that's associated with that USD scene. I could make some decisions currently with some overrides like visibility, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and just clear the overrides and bring everything in. I always have access to that at any time. I can select the node itself if I want everything associated with the particular geo import, and then I can make those decisions. And of course, as we begin to build up the actual hierarchy itself, we can always jump to our scene graph tab and make those decisions. Okay, so first thing I notice is that the interactivity is fantastic inside of here. This is actually quite a dense mesh. If I have it selected, I'll jump over to vertices, and we can see here there is, I think, about 1.3 million polys with this, and it's actually behaving quite nicely inside of the viewport. Another thing I'll notice is that the cameras that are embedded into the file, I can just jump through and have a look at them. So here's shot camera 1. And then there's shot camera 2, and this is the one I want to be working with, and I'll be doing projections from. Now, the thing is, this camera is inside of this file, and I need to pull out its information. So what I'll do is I will create a camera node, and I'm going to plug the geo import as the scene. And then from here, I want to source the prim path. You can see that the camera is at 000, but I'm going to go ahead and select the camera that I want to grab, which is shot camera 2. And then it jumps into position. So now I have a camera that I can do 2D operations on. So what I want to do is project this image through this camera. So I will go ahead and create a frame hold. And I want it held at frame 1. That's perfect. And then I want to be able to project it on here. So now I've frozen this camera. We have a look. And now I want to create a projection shader. And that is right. That's my camera that I want to project from. This is the image that I want to project. So far, so good. Now I need to get it onto this geometry. So for this, I want to bind the material. So I'm going to go ahead and create a geobind material. The material is the projection 3D shader. And what I want to project onto is to that canyon. So if I go and look through it, we can see that we now have that projection working through. I'll jump over to shot camera 2, which is the one that has animation on it, and I'll play it through. And now we can see that we have our projection and it is currently working. Next thing I want to do is just test the render, make sure everything is working. I'll create a scanline render. And this is my scene. And for the camera, I want to grab, also extract that camera. So what I'll do is I'm going to just rename this to projection camera. I'm going to copy and paste this over. This is going to be our render camera. And oops, I'll just name that to render cam. And then I will plug this scene into it. And then this is what I'm going to be using for the render. So let's have a look at the scanline render for this. And it's good. So it's quite dark, and that's okay, but we can see that there is something happening in here, and that's because there is the lights that are embedded into the USD scene. So we could either hide them, but actually because we're doing a projection, what I want to do is turn off lighting. So under the scanline render, I'm going to go under my lighting tab, and I will change this to off. And then now we have our projection coming through. So at this point, I can go and test, inspect if there's any stretching happening directly in the scanline render or in the 3D viewport. So if we look at a more realized version of this, you can see over here, just going in and placing cards if there's any stretching inside of here, making sure that we can avoid those areas. And then also placing things and doing 2D compositing work as usual, we would normally do in our classic system. So I'm doing some 2D compositing on the image that's going to be projected, as well as adding things like creating some dust, placing it on a card, knowing exactly where to place it because I have that the geometry and the scene inside of here, as well as a background image that we're going to be using in the far distance. So then we can go ahead and build up our comp and have a workflow, just some light compositing on the end for this example.